Yeah. It sounds like you're doing things right, and you call, you've got some concerns, and you just want to make sure you're kind of, conducting yourself accordingly. And thus far, it sounds like you are. So, just keep it up. Just make sure that you come out looking, as clean as can be. So that's the main concern there, and it sounds like you are. So.
Right. Well, good. Thank you for your support today and your help, and have the rest of a great day.
All right. Take care.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wrong. Couldn't even write this song.
What a show.
I couldn't be always
I think we could just end it right here. But I'm not going to, because you know what? I'm so excited.
Everyone says I'm wrong.
I've been collecting little things,
Utterly and completely wrong.
thoughts, feelings, and packing them into a little condensed ball.
There are no facts or no figures without you. All this is gone.
Episode 6.
All gone.
Rolling out. It's happening.
'Cause it's plain wrong.
Man, this song's so depressing.
That's why it's so long.
It's so long.
I cannot get it.
Maybe if we, you know what's gonna happen?
Our song,
I've heard this song before.
our song.
Things happen. It gets happy.
Some play a little hard to get these days, it seems, but it gets too.
Yes, on today's show, we've got some really great fun things to talk about. The physics of de-escalation. Wow, we're gonna unpack that new phrase on this new day. Everything I say today is going to be wrong, by the way. It's the only right thing I'm going to say. I'm going to say wrong things. It's going to happen on this show. I'll probably get in trouble.
You know you've been wrong. You know you've been so wrong. How could you be so wrong?
There's not much I can do about that.
Some play a little hard to get these days, it seems, but it gets too hard to try. Kind of memory lost today and forgotten all the bad things about you. It's a new day.
Now you have it.
Wrong. Couldn't even write this song. I couldn't be always wrong without you getting all right. Says I'm wrong, utterly and completely wrong. There are no facts or no figures without you. All this is gone, all gone, because it's plain wrong.
I want to apologize for episode 1. I was a rookie. I was just getting started. I completely changed it. You can't even tell anymore.
This is our song. Our song.
Today, on the program, I'm going to just say that we're getting right into the golden ratio. And we're going to use that as a template for communication. Right? Has anyone ever said to you, hey, come on over here? And the next thing you know, you're buying something from that person? Has anyone ever said, hey, come on over here? And the next thing you know, you don't have a damn thing to do with that person. Well, today we're going to talk about the difference and how you can be in control of where that thing ends up. I know, that's huge. What other show's doing that? I don't know. That's like the main thing in life. Our whole life is a bunch of those little things happening. And if you have your hands on the wheel, then you should be able to drive. Now, on with the show! Because the energy has finally burned my bosom so long and hot now. My areolas are burning. Episode 6 is here. It's happening. It's now. Why now? What's so important? What's worth living for? Well, many of you know a photograph was just taken of a black hole. And I have things to say. You do too. Let's all say it right now. Things! Just the night before, on the Science Channel, they said, we don't know if these things even exist at all. So, right after Hawking dies, this is when the universe decides that the universe can see a black hole. Far better trick than Houdini ever planned. Sounds like Hawking didn't waste any time getting into the, I guess, what is that? Universal public relations? Guys, let him have a picture of a black hole. I don't know if other people are making that connection, but I sure am. This is what I was thinking about that show the night before. They were talking about infinity and that we could be in a black hole. That all possibilities can exist inside of this black hole, and one of them is that we are in a black hole. So therefore, we're in a black hole. And then the next day they got a picture. Wow. I mean, it's not 1 hour photo, but honestly, it just gets a little faster. I used to work. That was a job I had. I did not like that job at the mall. I don't know that I was fired. We just wasn't something I did. And that was the end for me at the 1 hour photo at the mall. And I have got to tell you, I am not looking back. Whoa. I did have a relationship with the woman at the Sbarro Pizza. I don't remember her name. She was a little older. I think it was Bernadette Peters. I'm pretty sure if it wasn't, it was my version. It was the closest thing I could come to Bernadette Peters at the time. All right, now listen, next episode is going to be 7. And as you know, that is the last of the primes until, 11? So that's a haul. 6 is here. It's nice. This is a number I like for this episode. It's completely unplanned, too, that it's on this black hole day. That the number 6 is here to suggest even an event horizon of some kind. Even though I suppose that 0 and 8 and 9 pretty much do that, along with 10. But come on, 6 has got that. It's got some, like all numbers. Okay, here's just coming in. You just heard it come in. Just checking in to see how life is going for you and to remind you that I love you, my friend. Look at that. There's still people left in this world. I've known her for so long. Almost my whole life. I think I met her on her 20th birthday when I did a singing telegram to her. And here she is. The whole world, even my family, thinks I'm just this nut job. But the people who actually know me and that are close are, they're sending me nice messages like that in the middle of my show. Well, that's wonderful. All right. When I was talking about numbers, I know I gotta get back. There were numbers. Like show 8 will be all about infinity now. I mean, there's no way we're not getting around that. doing a whole show about infinity. If we ever even make 8, actually. Yeah. But that's another topic. But look, I'm not saying that we aren't. I'm just saying infinity is a high mark, and so is show 8. So, there's potential for infinity right here, is what I'm saying, okay? That 6 is fine. Look, it's the mark of the devil. It's the mark of the beast, the 666. You can't even... You have to have 3 6s in a row to really make it work. It's in the Bible. It's in Revelation. They throw this... John, the writer, throws this number out like heavy metal had its heyday in circa AD 70. The number is possibly mistranslated too, so sorry about that. By the way, for those of you with, a facial tattoo, I think that of all the facial tattoos, a 666 behind the ear might get a rise out of people. Get you out of a few speeding tickets. It is actually thought it might be 616. Which would be more accurately translated into Nero, who was the ruler at the time, in John's vicinity and senility. So, don't be too quick to go get that tattoo until you're sure if you're talking about the mark of the beast being Caesar or Nero, okay? Because, either way, you're going to get somebody. Now, those are your 2 historical choices. It could still be Freddie, Damien Omen, Ozzy, or, my money is on Mick Jagger. But as far as we know, the beast has not shown himself. And I get a personal boner about this number 618. It has only been recently that I saw the similarity to my name that I have shared with my forefathers all the way back to when the great William Barry was the first settler on a place called Sandy Beach, New Hampshire. I think, yep. Sandy Beach, Beech. They don't even have it anymore. He's the first one there. There's a sign. There's a marker, if you don't believe me. And now, after all these years... That name, although he didn't have the name Gibb, I'm not going to mislead you there. That didn't come in till a little bit later, okay, till the incest. But that still came in too, by the way. Sorry about that. Okay, but you know what? What are you going to have? It only happened once, as far as I can tell. So, very distant too, by the way. Very, very, hey, I'm back. All right, now... Numerically, I spell Gibb 618. Well, coincidentally, my dad rescued a steam locomotive in the 70s, the 1970s, while everyone was out saving whales. He saves this iron horse from being buried in a hole dug right in front of her. They were going to just topple her over right in there, right after her UP retirement, and they do this glorious once over to make sure all her pipes are clean and all her wheels are greased, and she's got a whole nother load in her to take her another, century. And they were going to bury this locomotive numbered 618, effectively making her carbon footprint size of this hole after all those years, until some future generation digs her up. Hey, this thing's all gassed up and ready to go. Now she has a sister engine on display in a park. You gotta be following this, right? Do you think these are stories from Grandpa? No. It all comes around. Look, people, not gonna make you listen to my steam locomotive lore all day long. Give you a whole hour of steam loco lore. My best videos on YouTube are my steam locomotive pass-bys, run-bys, drive-bys, whatever you want to call them. They're my money makers. They're my golden cows, okay? We're not talking about my golden cows today. We're talking about the golden ratio. And this If you look it up, the golden ratio is 1.618. I'm going to just give that away right now so that all you people who are rolling your eyes about this locomotive, I'm not hiding some surprise ending here. I could have gotten all dramatic, and you know what? Do you know what the golden ratio number is? You know, it's some big, huge buildup. It's 1. And then there's a point. Then more buildup in a commercial. And then something about dentine. And then we'd be back. And then I'd have to repeat about half of the show before I'd finally come back to the point. 618. And you'd be like, I'm out for that.
From way over the pole, flying in a big airliner, chickens flying everywhere around the plane. Could we ever feel much finer coming into Los Angeles?
Now, there's a sister engine now in Boise, in a park to the west as you pass through Boise. You just keep right on driving, unless you want to stop at that park, you see. You'll see your number is 616. Yes, 616. Nero.
Walking in the hall with his things and all, smiling said he was the Lone Ranger.
I came right back around for you. Now, my father could very well have rescued the 616 that day, but she was in Idaho, where all the kids just can't wait to get married and have more kids who can't wait to get married to their elderly neighbor. During the 70s, the 618 was the crowning jewel of a thriving tourist railroad, the Heber Creeper. Now, as a boy, I would go with my dad, and many of my first memories are still vivid. That I can share one when 618 was making her climb up Provo Canyon.
Woman walking on the moving floor, tripping on the escalator.
Really working before the dam. In fact, I've heard some engineers have to back up, start over, because they couldn't make the grade. This time, 72, 75, who knows? Straight out of a Norman Rockwell type of painting I'd want to do sometime. I'm not that good. This father and son off the side of the road waiting for this beautiful, magnificent machine to push and pull its way up this rolling hill of dry and sharp thistle and wheatgrass. Why, I tell you, the most beautiful spot on earth is behind storm clouds of thick black coal smoke belching out. Back in the 70s, it wasn't about your carbon footprint. It was about how big is the plume of smoke in the sky. If she's fired right, there's not a lot of smoke. Well, anyway, it's a steadily approaching rhythm at first. It does not sound natural, and it will not stop if something is on the tracks. It blows its whistle, and you see, it's a sweet whistle. So there's this nice scene, and the father and the son off to the side of the road there, and the train's about to pass, and the two of them right there taking their first roadside pee together. God, the passengers didn't know what the hell to do. They're all waving out the window. Oh my God, look away, kid, look away. No, we put the rascals away before the train came by, but there's no doubt that is a vivid memory. And I know, it's kind of gross. The 618 was used as part of a train that pulled wedding guests to, yes, my very own wedding back in 1999. Back when I had heavy metal in my mouth, I had to remove it. I had the possibility of going senile with all that heavy metal in my mouth blocking them cavity holes. Now I've got that new stuff. All back in 99, all we had is steam, I reckon. Neither of us were worthy to have a true Mormon, now non-Mormon wedding because, we dated. We'd had a physical contact before the marriage. According to the clocks relative to us, Trust me, relativity changed everything. A clock, for example, on Uranus might read backwards. You know, because of gravity. So, my black hole talk is already sucking us in. Anyway, it was a lovely day. The 618 pulled the train and has been effectively out of service since. Now, black holes. I'm looking at a typical screen in front of me filled with tiles and text on a computer screen, right? All sizes. All these different pictures and wanting me to click and go different places, all of these tiles. One of these is this Starry Night classic by, who knows, Peugeot, Fiat. I don't know what his name is. Obviously, it's Claude Debussy's classic Starry Night. You'll see this once again familiar theme from your youngest kid's drawings to this Liechtenstein litho. Starry, Starry Night. You have to say it twice, people. Don't make Don McLean write a song about you and then never tell you what it means, all right? Point is, there it is again, these spirals from rock art, and now, in this, I suppose, priceless O'Keeffe, oh, very modern, while retaining the subtle call to a master, a plea from this compelling force to make that brush go in a circular motion so as to draw a 6, but not actually resemble a 6, possible 8. So now you're starting to see that this is not some labyrinth of train of thought nonsense, and I'm connecting dots. And in this case, they're 6s. And today on the show, we're talking about the swirl of the 6. Now, listen, before I forget, I'm back. I'm at McDonald's today. All right, it's a family restaurant. They have a lot of things on their menu, but since I always get the same thing, I can't tell you about the other stuff, okay? They have this 2 all-beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickle, onion deal that's on a sesame seed bun. But it is on the most peculiar double-decker bun with the sesame seeds. Where do sesame seeds come from? I don't know. Why do they even need to put them on there? I don't need the sesame seeds. I really don't. Do they keep the bun from going bad or something? They have a purpose? Somebody help me with this. I would expect this is where the foreign children come into play, is with these. And this is a nice family restaurant. They don't need these on the bun, but they're on there. I saw it. It's a peculiar, most peculiar double-decker bun. Let me tell you something. I sometimes wear this coat. Sometimes. I got it for an Elvis costume, and it was the only sort of black leather jacket there at the thrift shop. And I snagged it years ago, $10, did the performance, made $100. So I'm first and foremost, I'm a financial whiz kid. You guys know that. It has these things, these straps on the shoulders, these absolutely useless snapped-on straps. It's a distressed garment, intentionally looks like a battered leather and coat, and it's not even leather. I don't even know what it is. So if you have a tough vegan friend with a thing for the 50s, this is the jacket. Not so tough that, you want to get in fights, right? So, no, see, it's kind of toned down. Anyway, so one of those straps, snagged on a tree branch or something, and it tore. And on the inside, there's this pink fabric that has pulled out. Okay? Yes, you have to imagine this with me. There I am, standing there, this nice, worn, black pleather jacket. And yeah, out of one shoulder, if you must know, at my left, out of the shoulder sprouts this plume of pink fabric about the size of a flame. And then this dangling leather strap that is broken. Just kind of hangs down and whacks me in the face. Now, I want to say that before this happened, I swear, anytime I wore this coat, strangers will comment on how much they like this coat. Okay? And I don't know if I know that it's not when you see somebody with a nose ring, you're like, yeah, nice nose ring. And you're not encouraging it. Get another one. when it's right through the, okay? You have to imagine with me that there it is, and people just come up to me and they have things to say. Well, I haven't heard a lot because of all the brokenness, but I still put this thing on because the strap is no good. And I'm approaching the restaurant. I'm inhaling this smoky, sweet smell of burning calories as I'm walking in. And just as I guess there was this school was getting out, and a group of boys, surprisingly no white boys. And in Utah, when I was 12, we just didn't have anything other than white. I mean, my brown eyes made me a minority among the sea of blue here in the lake of salt. So I was marveling, I promise you, as I look back, my hindsight, I'm marveling at the diversity, I want to say. But, you know, I want to get my order in before this group, for sure, is going to, you know, take all this time. And you know what? Sure enough, they yield. They yield to me. Go ahead, sir. We got a big group. Oh, so nice. Okay, well, we're all waiting. And they did. They took forever. One thing about this place, they let you fill your drink there. So they give you a cup at this place, this McDonald's place. They give you your own cup, and then you can go fill it right there. They don't even know they're going to lose money. I mean, it's crazy because you can just sit there and drink and refill, and they aren't even looking. I've seen some places are doing this, but there's this huge sign that says no refill. They don't do the no refill sign. Saw it at the ski resort the other day. I went to a completely different ski resort for the once in my life, and they have the no refill. Like, really? At a ski resort too, because they charge you, you know, like $12 for the and yeah, really? You're not gonna have, then people's honesty is tested right there, right? They're just like, well, I'm right here. I mean, it was the bubbles, and you know, well, the ice, and I've got to, well, I had to sip it and make sure it wasn't too. In any case, out of principle, I am not going to go to that restaurant with the no refill drink machine, at least for the next several months. I had my own drink, probably had filled it up a couple times now. We're all waiting. And I've told you before, I'm a financial whiz kid, which makes me a financial whiz adult. And these guys are just not going to make it on this honor system on the drinks. And I know they're young at this game. But I can tell they're already hurting. They're out of straws. Air quotes here. Out of straws. So you have to go ask for one. So they know. Right? Less straws, less people drinking, less people refilling. They're trying to battle this thing. They have these little coffee straws. Like, people, you know, we're gonna be out of straws. Give them these little tiny coffee straws by the register. I even suggested at one point, you could take 2 of those big straws, put them with the coffee straws, and when those straws disappear, it means you're out of straws over here. So I'm making a drink there where you mix all the drinks. They'll let you do that now because you can do that. It's called a Sunshine Happy Day drink. Okay, more air quotes for you out there. One of these young boys comes right up to me and says, "Hey, are you gay?" I said, "No, I'm married. I have a baby." And then the gravity of this event set in. His friend pushed him aside and started apologizing, along with a group of really smart-looking girls. He didn't mean it, you know, that kind of stuff. But are you? The guy calls out Big Mac instead of this number I had churning in my head. It was $2.79. That's me. God, call out Big Mac, and now I'm still remembering my number. I forget, and now sometimes I throw that jacket on. It must be it, right? The jacket with the pink plume coming out of it. And that's the dynamic of discussion, right? Hey man, that blue dress you're wearing is ugly. Well, I'm not wearing a blue dress, so... Or, what do you mean? Well, what about the blue dress you're wearing? You're an idiot. I'm thinking about this exchange and some of the things that churned up. Now, I have this new friend. She is late 50s, 60s, visiting poet here at the Liberal Arts College or Subaru dealership, I'm not sure. She comes to the dog park, and our dogs get along, and we talk. She reveals to me, among other things, she's Jewish, impatient, and she's a lesbian. In fact, she describes herself as a Jewish lesbian. Do you think a Jewish lesbian is going to be welcome in this place? I don't know. Should we call ahead? Just everything has to do with, I don't know if a Jewish lesbian is good. Everything is like prefaced with the fact that a Jewish lesbian is going to be involved in whatever we're talking about. Okay. Well, I see it now. And as soon as she revealed it to me, I see it now. She has this spiky hair. And I've always known that this is a trait of the modern lesbian. I didn't know that it was a real trait. Like, it's just part of the starter package. Sorry. As soon as you go into your hairdresser spouting things about being a Jewish lesbian, they're like, oh, get out the pomade. We're spiking this one up. Anyway. Maybe she should wear my jacket, I guess, because I'm done with wearing that jacket. It's not my style. It never was my style. It's a costume. I even wear it in my current promo shots, so you can see it. You won't see it without the. You won't see the. Actually, yeah, the pink plume is so burned into your memory. You'll still see me when I wear it. You'll still see it with the plume, right? Anyway, what I've decided to do, since I have it right here, I'm going to put it on for the rest of the show. I'm going to wear it since we all have this sort of vision of me in this pink plumed black leather pleather jacket. You can hear I'm actually putting it on. Here it is. Here's the snappy. Okay, that's the snappy strap. Okay, here's the pink plume. It's pluming. It's like a little pink flame. I was wrong. It's the right shoulder. I don't know what happened to me. It's the right shoulder. So now I have this jacket on. I've wasted, God. Let me just bring this home. I got places to go. I think that this boy, like our laws, like anything, has been shaped over time. And in his time, what he's found is that women are probably super nice to him, particularly black women, then white women, then probably the next group are gay people. But the last person he's going to say that to is just some big gray-haired white male American lawmaker. So I feel approachable. I feel like at any given time I can be that big, fat, ugly white American male, or I can be part of this little tiny subgroup, the plus. Just that little plus at the end of the LGBT. So, I mean it all with, when I say all this stuff about the spiky hair, it's all with all due respect. It really is funny, like, wow, this is true about the spiky hair. It looks like it's been electrocuted and it sticks up on all these weird odd angles. And now she's going to be hospitalized, so that's going to have some even more. People, I invented the mullet. I transitioned people to bedhead. And later, I think you would even have noticed to more extreme levels of fashion with hospital head. That's mine. That's me. I did that one. I came up with cray cray. That's a term. I still hear it today. I use it still today. I still hear it on TV. All right, but hospital head was... I had that thing through the 90s, and that still has some traction. You look around, you'll still see them in the grocery line. Did you just have major abdominal surgery? No, just got my hair cut. She calls it the distressed look. Yeah, I was going more for rehab look. Rehab hair. I don't know. I haven't done it yet. I'd have to go to rehab, and I don't want to go to rehab to invent a new hairstyle. No. But it has taken time. But I never stop innovating. So this year, the wife and I exchanged our Christmas gifts right there at the Costco. It was so nice because we had the music and the Christmas tree was right there. We didn't even need to do Christmas. And as a matter of fact, we didn't. So it was perfect. It was a special holiday time for us. I got her a clothing iron because I had used the other one for ski waxing iron. I thought, it'd clean right up, but no, it doesn't. Folks, when you start using the family clothing iron as your ski waxing iron, and you're saying to yourself the whole time, this is no big deal. I'm going to clean it off. It's going to be just fine. It's not. It's done. It's going to be now the ski wax iron. So it was a special holiday time for us. I got her this. It's a nice clothing iron. And she thought of me with a set of electric clippers. And to this day, I love both gifts. I've been using the clippers on the dog and learning to do what's called a sanitary. After one day when the area was not and had not been for a while very sanitary. And so I got these clippers. I got these clippers as a gift to save money on dog grooming. But the set comes with guides so you can snap them on and do Papa's own hair, huh? And this guide, so one guide says one for the right ear, and then there's one that's labeled for the left ear. And so if you follow the instructions, this set only does one haircut, but it's the haircut you want. You just follow these step by step. And as soon as I started to try to do the back, with the stubborn echoes of self-mulleting hair that I have, I could feel that my work on the back was an absolute hack job. I didn't even need to look, and I didn't, which is probably the reason why it was a hack job, because I, kind of winged it. And, oh, by the way, I kind of blew it on see, I did the right side, okay, over the ear right side with the right side guard, and it looked lovely. But then I just went right over to the left side, and then, forgot to put the left. Yeah, see, sometimes Papa makes mistakes, and so now my left side was actually the exact oppositely cut. So I had to. There was a time I didn't look so good. Okay, I kind of was going for a new, sort of a castaway look, castaway hair, castaway, sunken ship hair. Because after a couple of days, I looked like a castaway from a sunken ship of grown men, and then with this hairpiece, because I never did the top. So some kind of toupee castaway. God, this jacket's too hot. I can't wear it for the whole show. I'm sorry. Thus was born my new style, the DIY. I already do my own dental. The way it works is I look so bad to people that they just approach me differently. I mean, stranger, anyone. All have like this cautious, way more sympathetic approach. Sort of squint in the eye, brow furrows a bit, head tilts. I mean, everybody. My God, what's wrong with me? I'd look in the mirror, I felt like I was okay. People took pictures. I've looked at the pictures now, and I know. I'd get the, the clinical, sometimes the up and down look. How you feeling today? Some days I keep the Batman pajama pants on, and I wear the jacket with the pants and go to the park, and I'll get the concerned neighbor friend. Let me buy you dinner tonight. That's so nice. Hey, can you straighten up the back here? You know me. During this time, a woman says, "Sure, I'll go skiing with you." I've just told her that the last time I went skiing with a woman, I married her at the resort where we went skiing. But she says, "Hell yeah, I'm in for it." Of all the puppies I see at the dog park, she is the happiest to see me. And that has been the only dating advice I've ever used. God, I've ended up dating a few dogs. But what are you going to do? I get really excited. I really like this person. We talk. We have this great energy. You wonder in the midst of a conversation like, how is this different? Because it's so different. He sometimes goes out. People around you notice. One of my last favorite ski memories of this season, I'm at the map, giving out granola bars and giving out free cigarettes and legal advice. And
The look
This woman comes up. She's got questions.
so determined.
I can tell she's going to be wanting to ski some of the easier runs. I'm talking to her, and she has
I know that I
stuff in her teeth. And so I say, hey, my wife usually lets me just, get those out. She was struggling. She couldn't do it. She said, well, why don't you just do it? And so I reach. As I'm doing this, I've never ever touched any other woman ever like this ever before. And her lips are so beautiful. We have this moment. I've already said, hey, I'm off limits, but man, did we have a moment. And then this other guy skis up, and he says he's from San Diego, and I thought they were going to steal the moment. I rode up on the lift with him later, and he's like, oh my God, man, whatever's going on between you and that woman, whoa. Just skied up into this. The guy just felt it. He's a complete stranger. We're all strangers, but we still all feel. So you can see, I'm throwing out scientific studies, study after study, throwing them in front of you, showing what it looks like when you get spun up into something, when you don't get spun up into something. Let's face it then, skiing is physics, happening all the time, all around us. I took this job because I wanted to learn about the physics of de-escalating human tragedy, conflict, etc. And this show is what I've learned from these now 3-4 years of doing it. I've had some people lay into me, but I'm in a position where I can step back from, I don't care. They're not laying into in real life me. And so, I remember there was that one woman who said, you're shaking. And I'm like, I am. She skied past me fast, shouting something at me, not paying attention that she was about to run over a little boy. When I confronted her about that, she got real crazy. What do I care about a little boy? Well, she turns out to be the CEO for the Center for Women and Children, CEO Newman. In the process, I've also learned how to escalate things that I want to escalate. Or maybe just let things. I shouldn't say that that I have any skills over this. I've learned to let myself out of the equation. Ride it out like a safety boat. I'm best when I'm just out of my way. I'm hoping that in all these 35 hours, I've said something that I didn't mean to say that was actually worthwhile for someone. And today, what seems most significant are the individual, the group dynamics of escalation, de-escalation, mammalian de-escalation. And we had this encounter. We're just talking. I don't even know her name. And all of a sudden, I'm making plans to go skiing. All of the sudden. I say that, but what the hell is sudden? Right? Let's pack light. Be sure you bring all of your sudden. I'm watching my poet friend's dog. And all of a sudden, it doesn't want to come to me when I call it. That needs to be de-escalated. Strangers ask a question. I'm sucked into the spiral that looks like a 6. And I now know it's the golden ratio. The golden ratio, 1.618. You see it in snail shells. The nautilus, sometimes. A pelagic marine cephalopod, basically a mollusk, is another example. The method that they use for their jet propulsion is along these same lines. Kind of a ramp up to a point of explosive force. And the thing squirts its way through the ocean. Incidentally, the USS Nautilus was the first nuclear-powered submarine under the power of my own great uncle. My other uncle on the other side. I had some great uncles. And this one, he was the commander when the vessel was commissioned, and he went down with her when the Kraken were immediately drawn to the radiation from the turbines, and the whole crew vanished except for Commander Wilkinson, who in his old age actually did this, ran over his wife in just his car, in the Lincoln Town car. Left the car and drive, and bye-bye love. Hello loneliness. He later died. The car is sold. And in fairness, the new owner has the same problem. It ran over his wife of 54 years and then proceeds to just keep on going across two beaches, over an inlet, ravine sort of thing, straight out to sea. The car has a mind of its own. I don't know what happened to it after that, but that was some Lincoln Town car, buddy. Most men in this world are trying to perfect a perpetual motion machine somehow, with magnets and ramps and levers, somehow make something go perpetually. And really, that's it. It goes around once, and there's more energy when it gets around. You'd think that that's what would propel the 618, but what it is really is more seemingly the opposite. You have one, you go around, and now your new one is 618. Okay, you have $10. You trade it out for $6.18. Now, $6.18 is $1. You trade that out, and whatever the ratio is of that, now it's going to be 618 again, and then that spins you ultimately into a point of no return. And I want to say that I haven't consulted a single word on the golden ratio for this show. These are just my own anecdotal experiences that I've collected in a little Easter basket just for you. I want you to know what life is like in 2019. Now that Trump has lowered the bar and even the paper requirements to carry the top honor on his shoulders, all kinds of people are starting to position to be the next catastrophe. I mean, I wouldn't even want to stay in a hotel room that guy just used, let alone the booby-trapped presidency he leaves behind after his mandatory CNN exclusive perp walk.
This year, Americans will fill about 60 million prescriptions for sleeping pills, including Ambien, the drug that made headlines last month when Kerry Kennedy crashed her car on a highway. Did you know that some sleeping pills can stay in your body for as long as 12 hours? So we wondered, when is it safe to drive? We wanted to see it firsthand, and tonight, ABC's Lisa Stark takes a groundbreaking test.
So tell me what happened.
Zolpidem is one of the most popular sleep drugs. It was introduced in the 1980s and has helped replace benzodiazepines in the treatment of insomnia.
What are you doing out here?
We're looking for the Pomposky.
What are you talking about?
The fucking Pomposky. I just told you. I have to get it for the little boy. Come on.
Why are you out here in a fucking blanket?
It's my cloak. Snake your fire.
Why are you English?
Drifted off there for a second.
I'm in a driving simulator, swerving all over the road, nearly hitting a pedestrian, barely keeping my eyes open. I'm not drunk. I'm testing another type of impairment, driving on the nation's most popular sleeping pill, Ambien.
I don't have to use the bathroom.
This is why you don't take Ambien, kids.
Did he throw me outside?
No, you went outside.
What did I do to you?
Who are you? Tell me your name.
You know my name, stupid.
What is it?
Why would you throw... Why? You sleep outside.
Its negative effects can include confusion, cognitive impairment, amnesia, dizziness, unsteady gait, nausea, headache, and nightmares. A common benign or potentially negative effect is memory loss, specifically anterograde amnesia. This form of memory loss leaves you with little to no memory of what occurred after the drug began working. Not everyone experiences this when using a medical dose, but many people don't remember getting into bed or falling asleep.
Grade 18 at 10.
10:29 p.m. Central Time.
Danny, the turtles. I got their asses whooped. Power Rangers are too damn strong for them.
Snake, you're 5.
Why are you English?
Because of individual differences, there are some cases where people quickly need to increase the dose in order to obtain the hypnotic effects.
You're on Ambien.
Why?
For sleep.
Oh, but how long has it been since I took them?
I don't know, probably 15, 20 minutes.
What was I doing?
You thought I had 4 eyes, and you thought there's more people in here. You thought everything was moving.
You do have 4 eyes.
No, I don't.
Zolpidem is specifically recommended for short-term and non-daily use. Despite that, doctors often prescribe it as a long-term treatment, and there is evidence that it remains effective even after months.
This New Jersey woman had no idea she was even driving. She had taken Ambien and alcohol, gone to bed, ended up on the road.
Hit something with your car.
With 60 million annual prescriptions for sleeping pills in the U.S., there's increasing concern. I'm awake enough to know something's not right, but I can't help swerving all over the road.
What time is it?
It's howdy doody time.
During the 2000s, concerns grew about Zolpidem's abuse potential and negative effects. Many reports showed physical dependence could develop with very large doses, and a few reports suggested dependence may appear in medical settings.
I don't even know what happened.
I know.
Even though it was often recommended, doctors focus on alternatives before considering Zolpidem.
Everything's spinning, and I can't see. I can't focus on anything, Jameson.
The World Health Organization determined Zolpidem had a higher abuse and dependence potential than previously suspected in the early 2000s. This led to an international scheduling in Schedule 4.
Were you trying to kick me out the house?
No.
What the fuck is this?
Who are you?
When medical or common doses are used, the negative effects are normally limited to drowsiness, memory loss, confusion, unsteady gait, and headache.
When was the first sign of weirdness?
I honestly don't know. It was pretty much right after you were showing me your art, and it was like the optical illusion, and you had just taken your Ambien, like 5 minutes before.
Alright, we gotta quit this right now. Oh.
You want me to shut the light off?
I can.
Okay.
Don't fall. Yes. Are you okay? Wait. Come on. I told you to not keep moving. Come on, get up. Where am I? You're in the camper. Oh no, I don't want to be on the laptop. Come on, get up.
Almost all of the deaths have come from combinations, particularly with other sedatives like alcohol, propofol, and benzodiazepines.
The maximum Ambien stupor. 90 minutes in, I try again.
I just fell asleep.
When I tried to make a turn,
That wasn't so good a turn.
and then I smash into a big rig.
Whoa. Super fairy. I haven't been to sleep since Saturday night.
Jimmy, stop this.
Shit, I scared him. He's flying. The fuck is that? It's a turtle. It's the motherfucking Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
It should not be used with other depressants, including opioids, ethanol, and benzodiazepines. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section.
Hot Roll is a fictitious show. And we've de-escalated our way to the end of another one. Wasn't that fun? Let's do it again. Let's do 7. The last of the primes. For a while.